We like to think of education with a capital E as being this monolithic thing, a block of knowledge passed down from one generation to the next, unchanging except to add new subjects of study. But that's wrong. What kids learn in school changes all the time. The ancient Greeks, for example, were indeed studying reading, writing, and arithmetic, but they were also learning how to be soldiers in battle, and also probably how to properly tie a toga. Something our secondary schools certainly aren't.
Toga, 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 toga.
Now classes come and go based on what society needs its youngsters to learn, but sometimes society drops the ball, and classes vanish all too soon. That's right, I'm Nostalgic Nick with Do You Remember? And today we're looking at some recently vanished school classes we need to bring right back.
Dreadful etiquette, I apologize.
Before the bell rings, be sure to hit that thumbs up icon to show us some support. And subscribe to the channel so you don't get detention. Now it's back to school, baby. Let's go. Home economics. Every fall across America, millions of fledgling adults leave the nest of high school and happily trot off to college. Their young minds filled to bursting with facts about 18th century European wars and the precise definition of the quadratic formula. But unfortunately, what most of these kids don't know is how to properly cook for themselves or how to make a budget. And now they're out on their own for the very first time. Or God forbid, how to do taxes. But maybe there should be a class to teach us these very important skills in school. Oh yeah, we definitely used to, and it was called home economics. Unfortunately, its purpose was to professionalize so-called women's work and stopped being taught in schools because sexism is bad.
Maybe home economics is my USP.
But I do think home ec should be mandatory for every 15-year-old in the country, because every adult needs to be able to cook, clean, and manage their own personal finances. Say it with me now. Bring back home ec. Civics. Civics, the class about government and, other stuff.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
In actuality, civics is the study of the rights and obligations of citizens in society. While that may sound boring as hell, knowing your rights and duties is a massively important thing for any teenager to know. And living in a democracy, civics education is even more important for our society. If this was Tsarist Russia, I wouldn't be pushing the topic so hard, because what the Tsar says goes. That makes for a very brief course, but you'll probably get a B. But in America, it is crucial that citizens learn what part they play in making our grand experiment succeed. And one day, maybe more than 66% of eligible voters will vote for president. Because if you don't vote, you lose your voice. PSA brought to you by Nostalgic Nick. Grammar. Is there anything more cringy than reading a text from a friend where the wrong there or your is used? Seriously, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard.
Bad grammar overload.
But having good grammar isn't just about feeling superior to your stupid friends. Using the correct word are important because it make your writing and speech intelligible at any setting. Being able to succinctly and correctly get your point across to people, both verbally and with the written word, is a major part of being an adult, and a must in any professional setting. Which is why grammar class, while being one of the most dull classes, should 100% be brought back and made compulsory.
Grammar rodeo? We're going to a grammar rodeo?
Latin, Classic Greek. I know people are going to have a very powerful reaction to the idea that Latin and ancient Greek should be brought back into our schools, and I get it, they're dead languages. No one speaks them anymore. Hell, the church doesn't even do services in Latin anymore.
Everyone knows Latin?
So why, Nick, do we need to bring them back? Well, over 50,000 English words have Latin roots, and over 150,000 come from ancient Greek, which titles up to almost a fifth of all words in English. Pretty impressive. And I'm not advocating for a dreary, years-long course of Latin or ancient Greek. because that would indeed be pointless, and only nerds want to read the Aeneid in its original form.
Latin? Who speaks Latin?
But maybe a semester for every high school student would help them understand the intricacies of their own language, because English is pretty damn complicated. Auto, small engine repair. You know how many car trips Americans take every single day? More than 1.1 billion, which is about 4 for every person who lives in the country.
I think I broke my nose. I stabbed my brain. I just got my period.
And if those cars stop working, how many people do you think would be able to distinguish between the carburetor, the transmission, and the rotary flange? Yes, very few I'd imagine. But what a useful skill to have. To be able to fix small problems on your car, or your lawnmower, or any other internal combustion engine you have laying around. Yep, that would be totally awesome.
You're all here today taking this course, how to be an auto mechanic, okay? So it's your money, so pay attention, all right?
Plus, the boys in Greece built that sexy car, and it was both systematic and high dramatic. And way cooler than anything I ever built in high school. So yeah, bring back auto repair. Shop. Speaking of being able to repair things, shop class definitely needs to come back to our schools and pronto. And I know what you're thinking. Why? Some people remember shop class as being a blow-off taught by a burnout, where you spent all semester making one lopsided birdhouse that was your 4th worst Mother's Day present ever. Not bad, not bad. But I want it reimagined as more of a, these are the tools, here's how to use them, especially around your future house. Because the amount of people in the world who aren't proficient with a drill is kind of frightening. And being able to fix small issues where you live, a leaky faucet, a broken porch rail, etc., is such a better thing to learn in school than whatever the hell a cosine is. But I'm talking about really fix it, not Clark Griswold fix it.
Fix the newel post!
Etiquette. Okay, I'll just say it. We need to bring back etiquette class and make them mandatory for every high school student in America.
But first, let's review event etiquette.
And before any proverbial piece of clothing get in a twist, I'm not talking about how to walk, where to put your hands at the dinner table, and definitely not which fork to use, because, well, I don't care. No, what I envision is more of a modern etiquette. Basically, how not to be an asshole to your fellow person type class. With such topics as, don't loudly talk on your cell phone when you order coffee. Let people merge. Litter goes in the trash can. And for the love of God, don't heat up that horribly smelling tuna salad in a break room. Brenda, that's a shared space. That's a shared space. You know, basically just little things that if we all did them, it would make the world such a better place. And dancing. We can still teach dancing because it's fun, and most people absolutely suck at it. Philosophy. Oh God, philosophy. That dense branch of study whose great tomes of supposed genius are often as impenetrable as your grandmother's fruitcake.
Philosophy is dumb.
So why should we be teaching high schoolers a subject normally reserved for annoying college kids with black turtlenecks and goatees? Well, because philosophy is the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence. Basically, it really makes you think.
So that's philosophy?
Which is super important, because critical thinking is like a muscle. You have to use it to make it stronger. And in our day-to-day lives, it can be easy to fall into rote pattern of life where you just go through the motions. You never deeply think about anything at all. So philosophy forces you to think deeper, to confront your uncomfortable facts. So let's face the uncomfortable fact that philosophy should be brought back. Handwriting. And lastly, we have handwriting. That tired subject where an exasperated teacher tried to get 30-odd 12-year-olds to write legibly. But it's super important we bring handwriting back into our schools because, well, I mean, yeah, it is. There might not be a big point to it, but when it's done right, it looks so elegant and it really ups your thank you card game.
Your handwriting is impeccable.
Maybe Aunt Barbara was just fine with my note in print writing, But I say bring back handwriting class. Because we all had to learn it, so they should too. Alright, school's out for today. Some of these school subjects that have fallen out of favor need to be brought back. So how many of them did you actually take? What other school subjects should be brought back as well? And finally, what was your favorite subject we mentioned? Get in the comments and tell us all things about going to school. Before you head home to play Pong, please like this video to show us some support. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a memory. And from all of us here at Do You Remember, I want to thank you very much for watching.